Timoteo TV for Week 6 coaches' predictions, and we're going to go back to that 2:30 game with the Vikings versus the Seahawks. Chris.
Yeah, so this is actually a very close matchup when you look statistically, and but I think on the one hand, I'm seeing this as the upset of the week. I think it's time for the Seahawks to make a move and make a splash in this league. I think the Vikings, they looked horrible this last week. The Seahawks held the Mighty Boys only 12 points, which is absolutely unbelievable. Right now, they each have 20 touchdowns this season. Their defensive stats are very close. There are two teams that I think, if you look at the Vikings, they're 3-2. The Seahawks are 2-3. Vikings are 8th on offense. Seahawks are 9th. But check this out. On defense, the Vikings are 5th. And the Seahawks are 2nd. And I think that's been the surprise of the league is the level of play that the Seahawks are playing defensively. And I think it's going to be too much for little Dora the Explorer's brother. What's his name? Diego, right? Yeah. I think it's going to be too much for Diego with their defense, a swarming D. And so I think the Seahawks are going to win this one 19-13. It's going to be a low-scoring game, tough defensive game. But I think the Seahawks with their 8'6" players are going to pull it out.
I'm going the other way. The Vikings are going to win this one 28-19. The Hawks need to do something because they might just end up in a poor 4-2 unless they can sneak in and grab the AFC, which won't be looking good for them anyways. But I think the Vikings will win this one 28-19. Moses struggled last week against, a pretty good Raiders defense. Rob was prepared, and I think he'll sit there and bounce back because I really think that Moses is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the future in this league. And I think he will sit there and prove that this week, that he's able to bounce back after a loss and get back and put his team on track. And they will be fighting for to be the number one seed in that division, and I think the Vikings would be able to pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, in this game, you got the Seahawks and Vikes, and whoever wins this game gets to get some kind of space, a little bit more comfort, knowing that they're probably going to make the playoffs. So this is a big win for either one of these teams. The Vikings, their team on offense, I mean, they took a step back this week. I mean, I don't know if the rain or the water was too high and Moses couldn't really see and throw the ball, and he was struggling to move around with all the water. But they took a step back. What I'm wondering is, has their offense or has their team already peaked? And now with these tough games coming up, they can find themselves not making the playoffs. And so that's the reality of it. The Seahawks, on the other hand, just gave a battle to the best team in the league, the Cowboys. And the Cowboys barely walked out with a win last week. So the Seahawks are on the rise a little bit here. Yeah. Now, I think what this game is going to come down to, it's not going to come down to quarterbacks. It's not going to come down to defense. What's going to come down to is coaching.
Yes,
I believe that's what it's going to come down to, coaching. And I believe Hector has the advantage over Jesse. And I think that's why they will win this game. Hector's just smarter. He's better looking. He's faster than him.
Yes.
And I think he's got all the attributes. And I think that he will definitely, just come up with that play to win the game. I believe it's going to be close. The Vikings win this game, though, 27-26.
I think if we was to sit there and rank both of them, I think Jesse will be a 2 and Heck will be a 1.
Wow, no doubt about it. You guys are going to have Jesse and Hector out there playing one-on-one for an overtime game. It's going to be overtime, and they're going to call the coaches out there, and the first coach to score is the winner.
All right, who wins that game?
Hector,
run a fan route.
Ortiz couldn't stick anybody, man.
Wow. Let's start with that 4 o'clock game, and the first one being the Panthers and the 49ers. And this is a must-win game for my Panthers and Chris's Panthers. So, Chris, tell me what you got.
Yes, we have an interesting eye. Statistically, 49ers are first in the league on offense, 7th on defense. Panthers are 6th both in offense and defense. Let me say something about the 49ers. Last week, they were blowing a team out. And then you need to learn manners, first of all. All right, you're in this league, you start blowing people out, and then you tell your second stringers to let them score so you can go back out and get more points.
That
is the lamest, most fugazi thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now, that didn't come from the coach. That was from the players.
That's from the players. You had backups on that team busting their hump in practice. Can't ever get out there when they do this and let them score. What kind of teamwork is that doing? Hey, I'm ashamed of the 49ers. And also, I don't take it kindly when people mess with my little brother. And the Packers are my little brother. And you beat them up, and now I'm coming after you. I will not. We have been undefeated since we've had Howard on our team.
Yes.
And I'm not going to let you.
Mountaineer.
I'm not going to let you blow us out. I've never been blown out as long as I've been in Timoteo, and I don't plan on starting now. So, Felix, your MVP season has just come to an end. You picked my little brother. It's time for Big Brother to step up and take his role. And that's what I'm planning on doing. Panthers 26, 49ers 19.
Hey, Chris, Leo, before you get to that prediction, I have to make a correction. Last week, not last
2
week,
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we were
Yes.
blown out by the Cowboys. I
Yes.
had to wear that despicable cowboy hat,
Yes.
and I'm not happy about it. And like I said, Raleigh night, Cowboys, Panthers in the Urban Bowl, Panthers with the victory. So, Leo, back to your pick.
Yeah, and then he woke up, right? And, I just had to tell you guys that, I was just about to come and correct Chris. You did get blown out, so you do got one blowout in your history, but it's all right. That's the past. Let's get back to
Yeah, but you
focus
didn't take out your
with the
ones.
Panthers and the 49ers. Let me
Nobody
tell you
ever
something.
took their ones
Let me
out
tell you
against
something.
me.
Let me
Let me tell
You
you
don't
something.
have to.
Listen, I gotta agree with Chris, right? Let's get back to this game. I gotta agree with Chris. I don't like that. You over there telling your twos
That's horrible.
to let them score
Pathetic.
so that you once again. I've been dying to blow a team out so my twos can get in and play.
That's right.
I believe that
Development.
yes, these little kids, younger kids need to develop because once you guys leave, it's their time to shine, and you guys are not helping them. Just let them because you guys want to break record. I disagree with that. So therefore, I think Chris, like he said, he would sit there and prepare his team for this week. He also has, a grudge that the way the 49ers mishandled the Packers, and those are his little boys. So he just got a big chip on his shoulder,
That's right.
and therefore the Panthers will come out and win this one, 40-21.
That's right.
Yes, I'm sorry, but Chris not playing this week.
Hey, me, Eric.
Yeah, the Panthers. They had a big win this week, and so did the 49ers. The 49ers. I can't agree with that style of play. I'm a defensive guy, and you can't put guys out there and tell them not to succeed on purpose. That's just classless, and then it's also, if that's how you're going to pad your stats, if that's how you want to get it, then that's not deserving of any records. But one thing, the Panthers, man, Howard brought a spark to the team this week. He brought a spark to the team, and I think that's good for 1 week. You know what I mean? That's a 1 week spark, and I think that the spark is over. You know what I mean? As good as Howard thinks he is, he's not at the level of the 49ers.
So you're saying he's a sparkler.
Yeah, he's a sparkler. That's it. That's it. That's all he does. He's like a little cheerleader out there. What did Howard even do in the game? Let's be realistic. He didn't really do anything. That's Georgia's team over there.
Yeah,
and you got
is
Sadiq,
Georgia's
Tyree.
team.
Howard is a glorified cheerleader on that team. All right, and that's where he deserves to be at. Now, I called the Panthers defense soft last week, and I said that and they came out and they played, but they came against the Cardinals' backup quarterback. So I'm going to claim with mine. I still think that they're soft over there. They make a lot of noise. Devon's picking it up a little bit with sacks, but the 49ers offense is for real. They can score all these points. They did it to us. Now, we're not the same team we was back then, and I would love, for the Panthers, they're claiming to be our big brothers now and get some kind of revenge over there, but it's not going to happen, all right? The Panthers will get blown out this week. I guarantee it. They have no shot against the 49ers. The 49ers are a top 4 team. The Panthers are still struggling to even make the playoffs. And I think with a loss here, this can derail the team for sure. And in this game, let's just make it simple. Felix is going to continue his hot streak, and they will win 50-20. And at some point in the game, the ones have to come out. All right? And it's going to be the first time for Chris, so he can see how it feels. Felix, do me that favor, Felix.
Hey, sounds like you're holding a grudge, little brother.
Buddy has been very disrespectful all season long against the Panthers. And we have not held that against him.
My little brother did the same thing to me growing up.
Right.
You can't take it
everyone's
personal.
little
It's a
brother
family
does that.
thing.
It's always
It's a family
competitive.
thing.
It's always being
It's a family
competitive with the
thing.
oldest brother. That's
That's
what
right.
happens. And when you look at 2 future Hall of Fame coaches on the ends, as you see, we're bookends. So, hey, you know what? Let's go to the next 4 o'clock game. Colts versus the Lions.
Colts versus Lions. Good thing the Panthers and 49ers are playing on the other field, because they'll give you something to watch. The Colts, 10th on defense, 10th on offense. Lions, 12th in each. Lions, if you're going to win this season, this is the week you have to do it. It's now or never. That's bottom line. Colts, I don't know what happened last week. A little rain, it was like their kryptonite. They didn't do nothing. They looked strong early in the season, but then all of a sudden they just, I don't know what happened last week. But anyway, I think the Colts this week are going to end up beating the Lions 35-20. pay attention to the 49ers Panthers game. It will be better than this one. I think neither one of these teams have defense, so it's gonna be trouble.
You know, we were just over here eating the 49ers live up about class. Let's talk about the Colts about class. The Colts team walked off. They didn't even pray after the game. I mean, like, you need some class there, you know.
Wow.
Felt sorry for Wayne. Wayne was trying to get his players back together. Like, these kids need to sit there and get it together. Like, we're all about class in this league and, you know, playing as a team.
This is serious.
No,
This is serious. Yeah, I mean,
serious
I agree with Leo on that. I mean, the Colts are falling apart. I mean, they're undisciplined, and it's not because the coach lets them be. It's because they think they can do whatever they want over there, and they got a lack of respect. You know, for the coach a little bit, and they have talent on that team. But when your quarterback comes late after an hour delay, I mean, come on, quarterback, what are you doing, Stephen? I mean, the only heart I see is from number 34, Talib, who's out there trying to get bodies every week. You know what I mean? Now, the Lions, on the other hand...
When you say bodies, what do you mean?
What I mean by bodies is this guy is trying to knock people's head off on the field. He tried to do it with one of my players, Dante, but Dante's a little too strong, and he didn't come with his best, so Dante ate it. But I still give him credit for trying to go after these guys. But the Lions, on the other hand, I mean, their
Good
team,
thing
they're
Big Brother
losing.
ain't seeing them this year because we would have took care of them for you. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry about that.
The Lions, on the other hand, they're having a good time out there and they're having fun. And the coach, on the other hand, they look miserable this last week. You know, the coach even told us, they told us that because of the rain, they were unable to play. We're going to scrimmage them on Thursday, and we're going to blow them out again because we're just better than you guys. And that's simple because you guys are undisciplined, not because we have more talent.
All right, but listen, I want to get back to my prediction. You know, I think the Lions are going to win this one out, 35-26. You know, I think the Colts are not for real. You know, they disappointed.
Were you laughing at the Colts team, or what was you laughing at there?
Yeah, I was laughing at the Colts. I was laughing at the Colts. I'm sorry, you guys.
That was classless.
That was
Yeah,
classless.
that was classless. They kind of rubbed off.
Yeah.
You know?
49.
Did it?
Did it. You know, but the Lions will win this one 35-26. You know, both teams will be in a poor four this year. And, you know, this might just be their Urban Bowl. So they might as well go out there and try to sit there and get a win this week because this might be the last time the Colts can get a win or the Lions can get a win. And I think the Lions are going to pull this one out 35-26. And for you guys need to stop with this big brother, little brother stuff. You guys can handle that next week. As of this week, let's focus on this week and what's going on this week. Have some class.
Listen. Look,
Selfish.
I think the Lions, this is their chance to win the game this year, and I think they're going to do it 24-18.
Wow. Wow.
There we go.
Hey, that's a lot of love for the Lions this week. So hey, let's go to the coaches predictions.
Ooh,
Look at that. We
brought
got
it up,
Chris.
baby.
We got Chris and Leo tied up at 21-9, and Buddy.
It's the worst.
Listen, I don't know who's keeping that score.
Little brother.
He's supposed to be the guru of defense.
Please.
He can't even pick a defense. Come on.
My-
Who'd you pick for the NBA championship?
The Heat.
You sure?
The Heat.
You sure?
Yep, Heat.
I thought you picked the Sixers at the beginning of the year.
No, the Sixers. After they beat the Heat, I did switch to
Wow.
the Sixers, but then it didn't go right. The Heat. I got the Heat. Heat in 6.
Wow. Hey, that's going to do it for this week's predictions for Timoteo TV. And remember, the road to the Urban Bowl begins and ends at Scanlon. And don't forget your verse, gentlemen. Exodus 2:24 and 25.
You're sweating over here, bro.
God heard their suffering, remembered his contract, and he knew it was time to act.
Amen.
Buddy, stop. That's what God is saying to
That's
you.
right.
Stop.
I said we're gonna stop. We're gonna try to
I
win
know,
some games
right?
this week, man. I feel
Please,
it.
I hope so.
God is definitely speaking to us through this verse, and I believe it's a good one for the kids, guys. Memorize it. Get out there. Be ready to play.
Yes. See you guys Saturday.